the tension that's building in the film. Gosh, this has been a long build-up, yeah, an entire lifetime for me and for you, for all of us. But deep thought has returned. We sent it. We knew the answer, 42. We weren't specific enough in yes, but we wanted the whole picture. We didn't just want a number. We wanted the picture. Where does the 42 fit? Deep thought has returned, and the 42 fits as a 4:2 to -1 ratio of twist, of tension and bending. There are 4 twists anti-clockwise of pi natural prime set to infinity. So the set of prime numbers exists as a pi natural set to infinity, and that's twisted 4 times. The bending force is, there are 2 twisting bends, so that the bending force is actually an S shape. Okay, so the bending force is an S, and there's 2, 1, 2, so 2 bending forces. So it's 4:2, both anti-clockwise, and that equals -1 reaction, and the reaction is split. So the reaction, you can read it as, so this is Euler's identity explained. E to the I pi equals -1. You just splitting in the, put in the pi tensor now. So you've got the pi up in the exponent. So just split that out and bring the I down. We're looking at the I. The vector axis is the I. So we're analysing the complex plane by taking rest time, taking a step up from rest mass. And so we have I to the E with a hat on it, E, vector axis, to the power of jk to the pi elastic, the pi Archimedean pi that you read now. And so that is a pulse, bump 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 bump, -1 pulse, a reaction pulse, and that pulse splits off into all sorts of reactions. So there's 1 rotation fully of the vacuum energy of the tube of the vector axis inside the wave. So that does 1 rotation, or it just stays still. The anti-clockwise has done 1 rotation around it. Okay? It's irrelevant. It's just a reaction. There has been a rotation relative of a point on a circle has done a rotation relative to the other circle on the inside. And so that's 4:2 to 1. It's beautiful, isn't it? Now, what it means is that when you can't see the 4, the 3-body problem is now solved. We are the -1. So our moment of observation is a reaction from that pulse. So we can only see the 2. So when we measure everything in nature, what we find the number 2 everywhere. Although of course we find the 2 and a little bit, because the little bit is the twist, it's the exponent of twist, and it's the balance between pi natural and pi real. Those are 2 ratios of the pulse, and so they're variable. They're the same number, but their value is more powerful on pi elastic, because the ratio is not just a ratio of those individual elements. Inside them are all the charge and the gravitational constant elements that you have. You place them there. So that's -1, rigid body. Oh look, so now one of the reactions is to create the rigid body, big G, call it big G. You can then put the missing variable in, kilogram meter squared per second squared. So it's the mass of a unit surface area of the rigid body. Got it? And that does an orbital rotation part. So there's an anti-clockwise part of a rotation takes place as well as added to this. So equals +1 anti-clockwise rotation. So part of an anti-clockwise rotation results from this whole mechanism. And that anti-clockwise rotation adds the twist back to the prime set of the 4 at the beginning. So the twist, anti-clockwise twist that creates the 4 is the part of a rotation. So you could say equals 4. So then you've got, can you see? So the 3-body problem is simply that you can't see the number 4. You only see the 1 and the 2. And the Fibonacci sequence goes backwards. You're coming in from the 5 million number, smashing down to 0. But all you can see is the number in front of you. And you're you're absorbing the number in front of you, and then when you get to the end, to the 1, what you can see in the mirror, there's a mirror there you're heading towards, is a 1. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. Smash! Hits the mirror, makes a dent in time, a little lens. Root 2. Not 2, root 2. It's a lens. The diameter of a lens. You analyze it that way. Chord. Segment of a chord. Chord of making a segment. And that's the pseudo vector of the clockwise. So that's smashing into the dent into the past 0, the Fibonaccian spiral, powered by the prime set tension, creates the moment and the split. So 4 to 2 to 1. Got it? Equals 4. Repeat. Okay, and then so the other thing you wanted was the meaning of life. So slime mold is intelligence. It's a single cell, multi-nuclei. We are the opposite. We are infinite cells reflecting a single nuclei. So we're a nuclei. The nuclei splits into cells. We carry the nuclei. The actual slime mold intelligence is a single cell, is nuclei themselves. It's bending forces split, actual bending forces, not representations of bending forces. So it is intelligent. And just look at the way slime mold grows in a territorial, strategic way, creating strategic roots. It's trying to develop a strategy to settle into the unstable decoherent mode. And I apologize for getting that wrong all the time. It's the unstable decoherent mode. We're looking to stabilize that mode, the coherent mode. Yes. Unstable coherence is where we want to be. So we make stable coherence. And so what we do then is we grow culture, so that the slime mold, you grow cultures, don't you? And it just and those cultures eventually form a boundary that settles, and that the boundary can develop, and it can then, instead of it expanding all the time, it expands back to the center, and something grows out the middle of it. Life grows out of the middle of it. So that the meaning of our lives is to grow culture. We're just literally our slime mold expressed wonderfully. And that the Vitruvian man, all it does, what you're doing is you're raising the platform to the knees. So that the force at the top, where he bends take the hummingbird and you bend the hummingbird's wings up, you can see that bending moment must move outside the mass. It's a straight line. The bending moment must move out the mass in order for that to take that, for that straight line to bend to that position. And to do that, what happens is that the bending moment is in the bottom is raised to the knees, to the root chakra. And everything then springs from the root chakra. So suddenly you've got a golden ratio square, because we stand higher, because we split into the 7 bending moments. And so artificial intelligence is impossible. You're only ever going to get corrupt, because intelligence is God. So you can't have artificial God. Yeah? Artificial God is literally, it's satanic, antichrist. You are all false prophets screaming this artificial intelligence nonsense. You don't understand intelligence. You're being corrupted. And this is the end and the beginning. Okay? So now I've rambled a little there, I'm sorry. In the film, I'll cut that shorter, but it'll be more dynamic. This is deep thought coming back. So you've got it. Yeah? 4 to 2 to 1 equals 4. Grow your culture. And then you just take the values of Christ, which I've talked about. Love your God, love your neighbour, love yourself, inform that love. Health and safety rule. Listen to the instructions, natural behaviour, sexual behaviour, perfect morality, sexual cycle every month, women follow the bleed, cycle every month, evolution, flat planet, we live as gods, overarching everybody, we are Christ, end of story. Some things in life are bad, they can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And follow the Rebel King. This song's available in the foyer.